Did you know that the average person has about 6,000 thoughts every day? That's nearly 42 thoughts a minute. With all that mental chatter, it's no wonder many people feel overwhelmed. Many of us believe that achieving mindfulness means finding a way to quiet those thoughts completely. But what if I told you that trying to silence your mind could actually make things worse? Instead of chasing after a quiet mind, mindfulness is really about embracing and understanding our thoughts. Studies show that people who practice mindfulness are 25% happier than those who don't. This video will take you through the surprising truth about thoughts, teach you how to find calm in chaos, and reveal powerful strategies that can transform your relationship with your mind. Get ready to discover that you can't silence your thoughts, and that's perfectly okay. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The myth of a quiet mind. Why thought silence isn't possible. A lot of people think mindfulness means having a completely quiet mind. But here's the truth, you can't shut off your thoughts, and that's not the point anyway. According to Dr. Amishi Jha, a neuroscientist and author of Peak Mind, our minds wander about 50% of the time. That's just how our brains are wired. So, chasing after silence is like trying to stop the ocean waves. It's natural for thoughts to come and go, and resisting them only makes things harder. Instead of focusing on silencing your mind, the goal should be to make space for those thoughts. Mindfulness is about being aware of your thoughts without being controlled by them. Think of it like sitting in traffic. You don't need to control each car, you just need to observe it from a distance. By doing this, you'll start to realize that thoughts are like clouds, passing by without sticking around forever. It's also helpful to know that even advanced meditators don't stop thinking entirely. Research from Harvard University shows that experienced mindfulness practitioners still experience distracting thoughts, they're just better at noticing them without reacting. So, don't aim for silence. Aim for awareness without judgment. The real challenge is learning to coexist with your thoughts. Chapter 2. Embrace the noise, turning chaos into calm. What if the noise in your head wasn't your enemy? Rather than battling those thoughts, try embracing them. Here's the trick, don't judge your thoughts, just observe them. The more you resist them, the more they push back. It's kind of like trying not to think of a pink elephant. The harder you try, the more it shows up. Here's an interesting fact, we think anywhere from 6,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day, according to research from the Laboratory of Neuroimaging at the University of Southern California. That's a lot of noise. It's no wonder our minds feel chaotic sometimes. But when we embrace that chaos, we can start to find peace within it. One strategy is using what's called non-attachment. Imagine each thought as a balloon floating by. Instead of grabbing onto it, let it float away. Tara Brach, author of Radical Acceptance, explains that when we stop clinging to our thoughts, we allow ourselves to truly be present. So, the next time your mind feels loud, remind yourself, it's okay. You don't need to silence it, just let the thoughts flow in and out naturally. Chapter 3. The Power of the Observer. How watching your thoughts transforms you. One of the most powerful tools in mindfulness is the ability to step back and observe your thoughts. This practice is often referred to as the observer mind. Instead of trying to control your thoughts, become a spectator of them. This shift in perspective can be life-changing. Studies show that observing your thoughts without getting caught up in them can reduce stress and anxiety. In fact, a study from Carnegie Mellon University found that people who practice mindfulness meditation show a 30% reduction in stress after just 8 weeks. The reason? They stop identifying with every thought. Here's a simple exercise to practice the observer mindset. Close your eyes for a moment and notice the thoughts that pop up. Instead of getting lost in them, imagine you're sitting in a theater, watching them play out on a screen. This distance helps you realize that you are not your thoughts, you're the one watching them. This technique is also found in Eckhart Tolle's book The Power of Now, where he explains that becoming an observer creates a sense of deep inner peace. By practicing this regularly, you'll notice that your thoughts become less overwhelming. It's not about eliminating thoughts, it's about changing how you relate to them. The more you practice observing your thoughts, the more you'll feel in control, even when your mind feels busy. If you're finding this content helpful, consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to help you on your mindfulness journey. Chapter 4: Why Chasing Stillness Backfires. How surrender leads to true peace. When you try too hard to control your thoughts, it often backfires. The more you chase stillness, the more elusive it becomes. Ironically, trying to force peace creates tension. Think of it like trying to sleep. You can't will yourself to do it. You have to relax and let it happen naturally. The same is true with your mind. A key strategy is to surrender to the present moment. Jon Kabat-Zinn, the founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, talks about how letting go is the foundation of mindfulness. When you stop trying to change your thoughts, your mind naturally finds calm. It's about allowing what is rather than resisting it. That's where real peace comes from, not through control, but through acceptance. Here's something surprising. In a study from Johns Hopkins, mindfulness meditation was shown to be as effective as antidepressants for treating anxiety and depression. This is because mindfulness isn't about getting rid of negative thoughts, but about surrendering to the present without judgment. So, stop trying to fix your thoughts. Surrender and let them be. Paradoxically, this often brings more peace than silence ever could. Chapter 5: The Dance Between Focus and Distraction. Finding flow in mindfulness. Most people think distractions are the enemy of mindfulness, but that's not quite true. Mindfulness isn't about staying focused all the time, it's about becoming aware when your mind drifts. According to research from the University of California, we are only able to stay focused for about 10 minutes at a time before we get distracted. This is normal. The key is to learn the art of coming back to focus without frustration. Every time your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the present moment. Think of it as a dance between focus and distraction. Both are part of the practice. Instead of fighting distraction, use it as an opportunity to strengthen your awareness. It's a skill that grows with time. Here's an interesting fact. Multitasking lowers productivity by up to 40% according to a study by the American Psychological Association. So, when your mind wanders, it's actually trying to process too much at once. Mindfulness helps you train your brain to focus on one thing at a time. Over time, this mental muscle gets stronger, and you'll find it easier to stay present, even in a world full of distractions. Chapter 6: Rewriting Your Relationship with Thoughts. A mindfulness blueprint. The final step is to rewrite your relationship with thoughts altogether. Instead of seeing them as distractions or obstacles, you can begin to view them as natural parts of your experience. Remember, thoughts aren't problems to solve, they're just mental events that come and go. One way to do this is through labeling. When a thought pops up, give it a label like worry or planning without getting caught up in its content. This simple strategy, often used in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, helps you distance yourself from the thought, making it easier to let go. Here's a practical statistic. According to a 2010 Harvard study, people are happiest when they are present in the moment, regardless of what they're doing. This shows that mind wandering often leads to unhappiness. By changing how you relate to your thoughts, without getting stuck in them, you can live more fully in the present, which boosts overall happiness. As you rewrite this relationship, you'll realize that you don't have to silence your thoughts to find peace. You just have to stop letting them control you. By using strategies like labeling, non-attachment, and observing without judgment, you can start to create more mental space, allowing you to experience calm, even when your mind is full of thoughts. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights on mindfulness. We're here to support you on your journey to a more peaceful mind.